Friday before last, this young Nigerian man without a passport gets on board this aircraft. His father had gone to the embassy repeatedly, had said, my son is training with terrorists in Yemen. You've got to stop him. And he was not even put on the terror list. But congressmen get put on it. Over 1 million Americans can't fly. It's a list. You don't know how you get on it. You don't know how to get off. Guilty until never proven innocent. You're just a slave. A nameless slave. And you have thousands of troops massing in and around Yemen. You have U.S. airstrikes being prepared. You have the media saying we may go to war with Yemen in the week before this. And then this bombing comes along, the perfect pretext for it. And you've got eyewitnesses of the sharp-dressed man bringing the underwear bomber up, saying he doesn't have a passport, but let him on the plane. He gets on. Witnesses report someone videotaping the whole flight aimed at the underwear bomber, then during the flight, then during the attack. The FBI says there are no videos. They say that there was no one taping, despite other witnesses saying this. And then they're impeached. They're caught saying no one was detained. We didn't say somebody had a bomb. No one was taken away. We didn't tell people get out of here for your safety once they landed in Detroit. And now they've changed their story and said, okay, we did detain somebody, but for a passport issue. But the bomb-sniffing dog that Mr. Haskell and his wife saw went over to the guy's bag. That's why they took him away. So now they've changed their story 5 times. Go over the 5 different stories, Kurt Haskell, again, who was on board Flight 253. Break down the 5 different stories we've heard.
Okay, I'll try. It's getting hard for me to remember them all.
And you got cut off by the break. You got cut off by the break, too. Finish that point if you need to.
Okay, just briefly, I'm going to finish my last point. White House aide Brennan, I saw on TV this morning clarifying a point made earlier in the week by Janet Napolitano. And please don't take this as a shot at the current administration. I'm making no claims on to what my political alliances are.
As you've said, you just want the truth. Go ahead.
I just want the truth. I take issue with this statement. And the statement earlier in the week was our system worked, and now aide John Brennan says, well, no, our system worked after the incident. And to me, what happened after the incident, as I've been explaining before the break, was this utter chaos. I can't see how they can say anything worked at all. It was a complete disaster. Nobody knew what they're doing. Nobody knew who was in charge. They let us into the airport with our bags that might have and probably did have a bomb in one of them. They didn't search our bags by hand, ever. They had the alleged video made on the flight there with us that they could have seized. They didn't do that, even though a fellow passenger of mine pointed out that the man could have only been in 4 possible seats. They did nothing to find that out to see who that was. It was an utter disaster. So I really take issue with that point. Now, the 5 versions, well, the first version was that the man in orange didn't exist at all. I believe it was 4 days until they even admitted he existed. And then
in fact, you had the FBI at your office, and they didn't want to discuss that person.
That's right. When they came to my office on Tuesday, I said, they showed me a picture of a person. I said, well, I can't say for sure, but it kind of looks like the guy that you took away in handcuffs that you refused to admit exists. Later that day, well, I believe it was later that day or the next morning, version 2 came out, which was, yes, there was a man on our flight taken away, being held indefinitely on immigration charges. Then version 3 came out, I believe it was later that same day.
Now, let's be clear. You were there. They didn't stop him for immigration violations. The dog went over and sat down in front of his bag, the alert for explosives.
Right. Exactly.
Unless this is a passport-sniffing dog.
Apparently, this is some kind of wonder dog that can sniff papers and read them with his nose. I don't know. Version number 3 was that this man was from another flight, which was impossible. We were kind of quarantined. There was no one else around anywhere. I mean, this is, the biggest investigation.
So then they gave another story. They said, we've taken him away. Then there's another story. It was another flight.
Right. Story 3 was that it was another flight, and after I went on the internet writing a blog about that, claiming how it was impossible, and telling them I anxiously await version 4, I was surprised to get version 4 and 5 within the next day. And I'm trying to think what those were, but I think version 4 was, yes, there was a man taken away from our flight, but we searched him and questioned him and found nothing. There was another man taken away from another flight, and he's being held or something like that. And version 5 was, yes, we took someone away, but it was due to having some agricultural issue with bringing food in the country or something like that. I can't remember it exactly, but I lay it out well in my blog.
Oh, so now the bomb-sniffing dog, is a agriculture food-sniffing dog.
Right. And I think they even said that man was also from another flight, I believe.
Okay, now here's the big issue. You and other people saw this guy led away. There have been quite a few of your fellow passengers say, no, we saw him. They ushered us out for our safety. So they started having to change their story. This is a huge story, one of the biggest out there. The FBI is on this full time. They know what's going on. Why are they being dishonest? And how do we investigate this when the investigators themselves are engaged in clear obstruction of the truth?
Well, I don't know how else to take it. It's either utter incompetence or intentionally hiding something, and I don't know how to take it, but I can see why they don't want to comment on it, and their story keeps changing because there's really no other explanation besides
now, when the
two.
FBI came to your house, or came to your office last week, yes. Tuesday, because I talked to you right after they'd been there. You were live on the radio with us right after they left. You brought up the guy in orange in Detroit in customs. You brought up the sharp-dressed man in Amsterdam helping the reported bomber get on the plane. You brought up all of this. You said just show the footage, and still we're now, 8-9 days into this, and we still haven't seen the Amsterdam footage.
Exactly, and I'm really not too happy with that. If somebody robs a bank or holds up a gas station, well, there's video footage of the incident on the 11 o'clock news, usually that very night. If I'm not correct, well, show the video. What are you hiding? Show the video. Show that, hey, Mr. Haskell's not correct here.
That's right, because they've been telling you you didn't see that. They didn't say, according to the press reports I've seen, you correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't say, oh, we'll look at that. They just said, no, there was no one helping him, which is very suspicious, instead of just putting the footage out.
Right. If there, in fact, is footage, which I believe they said they've already reviewed, and they think that I'm wrong, well, just put it out there and show that I'm wrong.
Well, you would think everyone...
2-3 minutes long.
You know the media is clamoring to see the underwear bomber.
Oh, absolutely.
So where is it? I mean, the people demand it.
Well, and also, why aren't we seeing the video of when he's going through metal detector, passport check, and boarding? They have all these videos, or you would think. I mean, this is a modern airport. You would think they would have video of all this of some sort.
Well, Kurt, I know you don't. I know you don't like to speculate.
Sure.
But having the FBI come to your office, having them not want to discuss these issues, now seeing them tell 5 different stories, all of this stinks to high heaven. We've had other high-profile bombers that get on planes who were also shuttled on and protected. From my research, this has all the earmarks of a provocateur operation, or where the underwear bomber thought he was part of a drill or something. We've seen previous things. Then this is used to sell the domestic police state, to sell new wars, to sell body scanners in the airports that literally record a naked image of your body 360. Everyone's resisting this now, and then right on time, right as the body scanners were scheduled to go in January nationwide. That was already scheduled, folks. They're saying on the news, oh, now we're doing this. Yeah, these $1 million machines. No, I went and looked it up. They were scheduled to go in the additional 214 airports. They were in less than 20 in the U.S. before. Now they're going in nationwide at all major airports. Right on time with this happening, Mr. Haskell.
Well, I can't comment on that. Even myself just coming out and stating what I saw over and over again, I have a significant portion of the country that are just continually taking shots at me, left and right. Obviously I can't make any comments on something that.
No, I understand. But clearly on record, you're calling for a real open investigation of all of this.
All I wanted ever. I have no agenda at all. That's all I've stated ever. I was almost blown to bits. Very close. I just want an open and honest investigation.
Is this beginning to appear as a cover-up to you?
Well, how else can I take it when I put out a blog or post somewhere and then the customs spokesperson immediately refutes it? So I put out another statement. The story
Stay there.